Good evening, Internet. Welcome back to another night of Talks About Stuff for probably far too long. I'm That's all just over my shoulder. Tonight I'm going to be talking about Leviticus. This is a new Australian horror film about the horrors of conversion therapy. The film is very open about its themes, so there's not a super whole lot for me to analyze at the end of it. If you haven't been to one of these videos before where I talk about movies, I'm going to go through the prologue and kind of the first act of the movie. I will give you guys my general thoughts, and then I'll give you a spoiler warning. If you want to drop out before spoilers, I will signpost that very clearly. And then afterwards, if you want to stick around, I'll go through the full plot of the film and then my full thoughts on the film. This film has a prologue. It's very economical. We start off with a girl. She appears to be late in high school. She is working at the pool after dark. She walks in. She walks past a open shower, and the light flicks on. She turns around and she says, "What are you doing there?" We, as the audience, don't see anybody there. We just see the shower light on, the water running. The woman steps into the shower and disrobes, and she begins getting pleasured. I thought for a second that she was pleasuring herself, but it seems like whatever entity this movie has, it only appears to the people it's hunting. It is invisible to everybody else. It is seductive. Like, it appears in the form of somebody that person is into. And then after she's been pleasured for a few minutes, she gets dragged down behind this barrier. And when she comes up, she's been bloodied and beaten. So in addition to being invisible and seductive, it's also violent. Whatever this entity within the movie is, we get to learn about it very fast, very economically. The next scene kind of flashes over, and we get to meet the main focal character of the movie, Name. Naim. I spent like a good probably 20 minutes of the first part of the movie being like, is his name as in Name? Are they trying to say Nate, but they're saying it in a weird Australia accent? No, his name is Name. I didn't know that was a name. Name has made friends with a young boy named Ryan. Ryan and him have gone out into the field. Our introduction to them is that they are standing over a snake that is eating a toad, and Ryan is kind of like poking at it with a stick. I'm not Australian. I don't understand Australian flirtation, but you guys do you. They sneak into an abandoned mill. This is just kind of like a square concrete building. There's still like stuff inside. There's rocks, there's pipes, there's scaffolding. They're having fun, like throwing things at the scaffolding, knocking stuff off the scaffolding. And then they start pushing each other, and that leads to them kissing on the floor. It seems like Ryan is very into Name, and Name seems very receptive to Ryan. But they hear a sound, and Name is all of a sudden like, we should leave. Like, we should get out of here. Outside, Name is like, why are you so different from school to here? Why don't you like ever pay me any attention at school? And Ryan is like, what are you talking about? I'm the same cunt I always am. And we get to see later that at school, Ryan is clearly ignoring Name. There's just blatantly, he's like, yeah, I'm not even going to look up. I'm just going to like stare at the desk. He's like actively giving his attention to the desk rather than look at Name. Name has moved here recently because of his mother. His mother is played by Mia Wasikowska. She is the the main female lead in Crimson Peak. I was wondering, like, the first 30 minutes of the movie, I was like, I know I've seen her somewhere recently. She's the lead in Crimson Peak. Oh, 1 second. I might still have I don't know if you guys can see it. The light is kind of like reflecting off of it. Kind of. Crimson Peak. So after Name's parents' relationship dissolved, Name's mother joined this religious group, and it seems like this religious group is what has like brought her to this small port city or large shipping town. I'm not sure which it is. Everything in this town kind of looks run down. It all has this like dirtiness to it, this grunginess to it. It reminds me of Tacoma. If you've ever been to Tacoma, looks very like aged and weathered. But Name's mother, it seems like this religious group that she's joined, this church, is very important to her. Name hates this place. He and Ryan talk all throughout the first act. Name is like, I hate this place. Ryan's like, you hate this place. Name is like, yeah, I do. But it's important to his mother. So they go to high school together. Name and Ryan go to high school together, not his mother. Name and Ryan go to high school together. It looks like some kind of preparatory school. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a prep school or if it's just a regular high school with like a uniform, but they all have jackets with the school crest on it. They all wear like the white button-up shirts and the black slacks. Ryan walks around with his shirt untucked because he's the cool guy. Everybody else very tucked in. They've got the belts, all of that stuff. One day after school, Name goes to surprise Ryan at his house. He is sneaking into the back of the house when he sees Ryan and Hunter. Hunter is another boy that they go to high school with, who also goes to the same religious group as his mother. All three of them are children of people in this religious group, and all three of them go to the same high school. Name like creeps up to the side of the house, and he sees Hunter throwing rocks at Ryan, and Ryan is reacting to them. And then they like get closer and they start pushing each other, and then they start kissing. Again, I don't understand Australian flirting, but you guys do you. Name is upset about this development between Ryan and Hunter. He gets jealous. He is afraid of his own feelings. He's afraid of like Ryan and Ryan's feelings. And he goes to Hunter's father and mother and Hunter's sister. And he says, I've got to tell you something. You can't tell Hunter or Ryan that I'm here. He tells them what he saw, and Hunter's parents call a deliverance healer to the church in order to like pray away the gay from the two boys. The religious healer pulls out a lighter. This religious healer has tattoos all over his fingers. He looks very gnarly. He pulls out a lighter, he opens it, he flicks the flame, and he holds it in front of the boys, and he says, I need you to focus on the flame. And when they're both looking at it, he says this weird biblical spell, two flames, one to defile, one to rebuild. And he, the two boys who are focused on the flame, they have very strong reactions to this. They start turning red. It seems like they can't breathe. They fall down onto the floor. Ryan vomits. Like this has like a severe effect on them. And all the adults in the church are like running up to them and like coddling them and being like, what's going on? And it's like, you did this. Like you invited this upon them. They didn't choose this. We then learn in subsequent scenes that both of the boys have started seeing this entity that we were introduced to in the prologue of the film. For Hunter, this entity appears as Ryan. For Ryan, it appears as Name. So there's some kind of disconnect going on there. And then we still can't see it. Name sneaks around to the gas station where Hunter works, and he sees a confrontation between this entity and Hunter. But for him, it seems like Hunter is arguing with the air. He sees something invisible throw a rock at Hunter. He sees Hunter throwing a rock back at something invisible. He still can't see whatever this entity is. He witnesses Hunter being attacked, and it's a brutal scene. Some of the attacks in this are just like simply brutal. He witnesses Hunter being attacked. He goes to the police, and this is one of the most aggravating like plot points of this movie. He goes to the police. He's like, I've seen one of the boys I go to high school with be attacked. He's in danger. My friend is in danger. Please, you've got to help me. And this woman comes in and she's like, so tell me about like what's going on at your home. Like, what's your home life like? Like, are you avoiding anything at home? And he's like, what are you talking about? I just saw somebody get attacked. And she's like, if you keep freaking out like this, I'm going to have to charge you with disturbance. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, lady. So Name calms down. He's like, listen, I've had these feelings most of my life, and I've always been afraid of them. But I've come to this place. Like, my mother has dragged me to this place. And once we got here, I found somebody who has these feelings as well. And I'm afraid for him. Like, he is in danger and I don't know what to do. And it seems like something good may be coming up from this. The woman seems receptive. She goes, she sits down, she listens. And then she immediately calls Name's mother and says, your son is gay, come get him. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Name's mother comes and gets him from the police station. She drives him home. When they get home, there are 3 men standing in the driveway, one of whom is the deliverance healer. Name is like, no, you're not doing this. Like, I'm going to get away. Like, there's no way that you're going to lay hands on me. And the 3 men drag him out of the car into the house. The deliverance healer flicks his lighter. He's like, look at the flame. 2 flames, 1 to defile, 1 to rebuild. And now Name can also see this entity. And so can we as the audience, because Name is our focal character. I think that there are a lot of like good, clever things in this film. I have issues with like the moment to moment directing. A lot of the plot, especially when it's characters who aren't the 3 main characters, the decisions are baffling, and not in like a dreamlike way where it's like, this makes sense in a kind of like pushing you towards something kind of way. So many of the people in this movie, from Hunter's father, Hunter's sister, Name's mother, there are so many people in this movie that just make bad decisions. And it's not that like your characters can't make bad decisions. I just wish that it wasn't like the driving plot point as these people making these bad decisions. There also seems to be a kind of an audience message disconnect to me. If you've seen the trailers, you probably know what you're in for. You probably are receptive to the messages that this movie is putting out. And then the people who really need it, the Hunter's father, Name's mother, the people in real life that those characters represent, I don't think they're going to see this movie. I don't think that they're going to get the lesson that they should get. And so a lot of the like terror in the movie comes from violence visited upon young gay men. And it's like, Really? It feels like punching down. I know it's not punching down because the writer and director is a gay man. And so he is just kind of like telling his story. He's telling his experience. And I appreciate that. It just feels weird at points. Um, so those are my thoughts. That's kind of the first act of the film. I'm going to get into spoilers if you would like to drop out here. Before you go, are there any other Australian horror films or LGBTQ horror films that I should be watching? Is there anything I should be talking about in one of these videos? Is there anything that you would recommend me to see or play or anything like that? All right. If you want to get out of here, get out of here. All right. So if you're still around, I assume that you are okay with spoilers. So this actually happens in the first act, but I didn't want to bring it up in case somebody was afraid of spoilers. Hunter isn't just attacked. At the end of the first act, Hunter is like brutally murdered. His head is found in a field. That's part of what I was talking about with that message audience disconnect is like, why did I need to see that? I kind of feel like it would have been better if we didn't see Hunter's head, if we just heard that something had happened to him, kind of similar that to the way that we do with the prologue character. Yeah, that's the inciting incident of the film, of Name's part of the story, is witnessing Hunter being killed by this entity. Name and a Hunter go to seek out someone who has experienced this before, the girlfriend of the girl from the prologue, and she sits at a hospital all day. She has a rubber band that she uses to snap her wrists to keep her awake. It turns out that as long as you're around people, this entity can't come for you. So if you've got somebody around you who can like keep you company, this entity can't get near you. Other people can't see it. So if you're with somebody who's real, other people can see them and vouch for them. But if you're with the entity, other people can't see it. So they just see blank air. One clue that the characters get, the girlfriend gets very upset because Name says something insensitive, and then she kind of gets aggravated, and then the hospital sends out security guards to come and restrain her. It's weird that the hospital just has security guards on hand to restrain her, but yeah, weird plot points. Later on, Name and Hunter are on the bus. They are sitting at the back of the bus. Name is like, I think I'm going to get out of town. I think I'm going to take a bus going to the city. I think I'm going to get away from you. And Ryan is like, don't go. And Name is like, I'm a danger to you. Like if I'm around, then you're always going to be in danger. And Hunter's like, if I'm going to see anybody, I want it to be you. And they start kissing and they start touching. And there is like a scene, nothing explicit, but it is obvious. And then from then on, anytime Name sees this creature, it's always as Ryan. Anytime Ryan sees this creature, it's always his Name. Ryan gets attacked in the boys' bathroom at school, and this creature like rips his ear in half. They go to it might just be church, I don't remember. They go to a service at the religious group, and you can see the stitches in his ear. And Hunter's father is like weeping, and he is like distraught. And Hunter's mother comes and takes him by the shoulders and is like, please come home. We need you to come home. Come on. And he's just like so distraught because his son is dead. And it's again that thing of like, you invited this, sir. You decided that you would rather have a dead son than a gay son. This is your doing. And going back to that message disconnect I was talking about earlier, I don't think that the person in real life who needs to see that scene is going to be receptive to the trailers and the marketing of the film. It is heartbreaking for anyone who has a conscience, but not everybody has those these days. Hunter's sister tells the Name and Ryan that she can get them in touch with the deliverance healer. And she drives them out to like this warehouse at the edge of town. And she has somehow organized a gay bashing group to come beat them, which is also bizarre. It's a bizarre choice on her part. She rationalizes it as like, you know, if Ryan, if he hadn't tempted Hunter, then none of this would have happened. And if Name hadn't told their parents about it, none of this would have happened. And this is how Ryan finds out that Name is the one who told the parents about it and caused all this mess. Ryan and Name escape from this gay bashing group. Ryan steals one of their cars. He lets Name ride with him back to Name's house. And then he drives off. But before he goes, he says, "It's not going to be me. It's never going to be me." He drives off. So now Name is effectively alone. He no longer has the one person in this town that he kind of liked. He tries to sleep on his mother's floor because if he's around somebody, he won't get attacked by this entity. And his mother is just like completely resistant to this. And it's another one of those weird reactions that the people in this film have. He's like, it comes when I'm alone. It will attack me. It will look like Ryan. And there's nothing that I can do to stop it. And she's like, stop lying to me. And it's like, lady, what the fuck are you talking about? None of these reactions are like, maybe I'm sheltered because like I choose my communities very carefully. But like if I ran up to somebody, if I went up to like somebody that I trusted and I said, there's something that is going to attack me. I just need to spend time with you for like an hour. I'm pretty sure that the person I chose would just be like, yeah, let's spend time together. Let's go see a movie. Like, let's go have a coffee, like something. I'm pretty sure that the people that I've chosen to be my found family, if I went up to them and I was like, hey, I am in a really bad place. Like, I'm very scared. Like, I just need to be around someone. Could I just crash on your floor? They would be like, yeah, of course. Like, is there anything we can do for you? Do you want some tea? And this woman who allegedly cares for her son and his safety, she's just like, no, get out of my room. Get your stuff out of my room. It's like, God damn. She has to work that night, and so Name is going to be alone after school. So he goes from school home. On the way home, he realizes that he's being stalked by this entity. He pushes a table in front of the front door or in front of the back door so that nothing can get in the back door, and he locks the front door. And when he looks out the window, he sees Ryan there because of course he does. Something tries to get in the back door. It's pushing on the table, and he goes to leave through the front door, and Ryan is there. But we have this paranoia at this point of like, nobody else is around. Nobody else can see who this is. And if it's Ryan, then we should be like trusting him. We should be getting out of here because the entity is out back. But what if it's the entity trying to trick us? They have a conversation, and Ryan is like, this is what they want. This is what Hunter's mom and dad want. This is what your mom wants. They want us to be afraid of each other. They want to split us up. They don't want us to be together. And this is kind of the thesis statement of the film. Like, the more that they can atomize us, the less power we have and the more power they have. And giving them that power is just going to hurt us, right? This is the trans community here in America. Every time there's a public freak out and they decide that they're going to pass a law that says that 13-year-olds can't play sports based on their chosen gender, it has to be their assigned gender at birth, that makes people weaker. And a lot of times the percentage point is so minuscule that they can't even find anybody that this law affects, because like they're targeting this minority population that's not hurting anybody. But then there's this national uproar of like, oh, we've got to get all of these trans kids out of sports. And it's like, fuck you. All you're doing is weakening your own fucking power. So Name and Ryan are standing at the back door, and they start like putting their hands to the screen door. They're like resting against each other through the screen door, and Ryan puts his arm through the door and grabs Name's hair. It's not Ryan, it's the entity. Name goes to the bathroom and tries to sneak out the window, but before he can, the entity comes in, grabs him, throws him on the floor. And in his scramble to find something to like get the entity to release him, he grabs a lighter and he puts it in the entity's face, and the entity gasps and falls over and is immobilized. And that gives Name the time to get out of the bathroom and out the window. The entity follows him. Name goes to the old mill where he and Ryan were making out at the beginning of the movie. Inside, Name lights a like old blanket on fire, and that causes the entire mill to catch on fire. And this entity is like immobilized. It's on the floor. It's gasping. And Name crawls out the window, and he is on his way away from the mill when he hears Ryan's voice. He turns around and it's Ryan at the window, and he goes to see him because he loves Ryan. And as this thing is talking, he just shuts the grate on it. And he's like, nope, I'm not falling for that again. You can burn for all I care. Get the fuck out of here. Bye. Stop bothering me. In the morning, he calls the police. He says, I haven't seen Ryan. Ryan's not picking up his phone. I don't know what's happened to him. There was a fire at the mill yesterday. I'm worried that he might have been hurt. Name's mother comes out. She's talking with Name. They are talking about this curse that's been placed on him from this deliverance healer. And his mother says, I know all about it. They told me that it's not reversible. I knew what was going to happen. I did this for you. And so she drives to a gas station. She goes inside. She gets some coffee. She gets some snacks. And when she comes out, Name is gone. He's run away. She is distraught over this. She's like, Name, where are you? Name. And it pulls back. It's a really cool shot. It pulls back as she's like frantically like calling out his name and looking around for him. Again, the same problem that I had with Hunter's dad. It seems like the real world equivalent to Name's mom. The people who like subject their children to conversion therapy, who send them to Scared Straights, to pray away the gay camps, whatever. They're not the target audience for this. They're not the people who are going to be in the audience getting this message. So just a little bit of a disconnect. I don't think any of these disconnects ruin the movie. They're just something that I noticed. Name goes to the bus. He is on his way out of town like he said he was going to be, and he sees Ryan there at the bus. And bus pulls up and people get off, and he walks up, and as the people are passing by, Ryan is like, "Please, God, tell me it's you." And he nods. And that's all it takes. And then the final scene of the film is the two of them on the bus together. They are sharing a pair of headphones. It's very cute. They are sharing a pair of headphones. As the bus drives by this bridge, Name looks out the window, and he sees the entity out in one of the fields, watching the bus go by. So this thing that's happened to them, it's not going away. It's still following them. It's still there in the background of their journey. But they have each other and they can deal with it now. So it is a happy ending, but it is also, it comes at the end of all of this shit. It's, in a way, it's kind of like San Junipero, the Black Mirror episode. It has a happy ending. You just got to get through all the bullshit first. But yeah, that's Leviticus. I thought that overall I really liked it. The moment to moment directing and the moment to moment writing, I have a lot of issues just on a micro scale. But as work, I think that it works. I'm very frustrated with like the parents in this film. I'm very frustrated with like the bystanders. I'm very frustrated with like the sister. There's so many like small choices made in this movie that are frustrating on just a experiential level. But I think that overall as a package, I like it a lot, and I like the message, and I like the thesis statement. And I think that it really works as a horror film and as a gay horror film. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you like this movie? Did you hate this movie? Is there another like movie like this, Australian movie, LGBTQ movie, that I should watch and review and talk about? All of that stuff. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all for joining me for another night of Talks About Stuff for probably far too long. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Good night.